Welcome back, everybody. Brosencha here, getting ready for our blind race of Hayfever. Now, this is a game I knew very little about this a while ago. It is something that appeared due to them reaching out to me asking, hey, you want to go ahead and hold a short little tournament for this? And I'm like, sure, that could be fun. And yeah, they're sponsoring the stream. They've been extremely kind, extremely helpful. We may have one of the devs showing up as well, depending on how things go. So I am going to be working on getting everything set up. It looks like at least the dev is going to be in chat with us, so that will be pretty dang awesome. Now, there will be a tournament coming up with this as well. The tournament will be 16 players. Whoever applies and then also submits a run to speedrun.com will be eligible to play in that. I think that's it for now. Glitch Witch, I see you coming and lurking. Hello there.
Hi there. I didn't want to surprise everybody.
Well, you know what? I think everybody is pleasantly surprised. We love to have you around. And I know that you've been playing this game in preparation for the stream today.
Oh yes, I beat this video game. This video game's really cool.
See, I haven't quite beaten it. I did make a lot of pretty good progress, but oh geez, it honestly was kicking my butt yesterday. My thumb is sore.
I was playing on the Switch Joy-Cons, which have buttons for the D-pad, which I don't know if that helped or hurt, but it definitely made it a very interesting experience to do precise platforming.
Oh, I can imagine. You know, precision platforming isn't something that you necessarily get on the Switch D-pad all the time, but there's some really good Switch controllers out there. I'm trying to think. There are some that people recommend and some that people don't.
I really like those buttons, though. I don't know what it is about them. I just kind of really enjoy having buttons instead of an actual D-pad, which is crazy. Like, I'm just, like, unconventional control methods are my thing. Like, every game I play on the SNES and NES and TurboGrafx, I hold the controller upside down just by default, so I'm weird.
Wow. You know, I'm a pretty big fan of unconventional controls, but usually just when they're forced upon me. If I have a choice, I'm going to be going with something that actually makes sense to my brain. You know?
See, the thing is, like, upside-down controllers make sense to my brain, and I don't know how this happened. Well, I do know how this happened. When I was a small child, my brother would hand me a Nintendo controller and say, "Sure, you're playing, whatever." And I was not playing, but he wouldn't care about how he handed the controller to me. So most of the time it was upside down. So when I actually started to play games, I just continued to hold the controller upside down. So
oh my
I
gosh,
how to play
that
video
is
games like
adorable. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh my gosh.
There's your hot Glitch Witch lore for the day.
Yeah, I need Glitch Witch lore.
Everyone does. People need to know more about me, which is a weird thing for me to say out loud. I should not be doing that.
So, as Dominic in chat is saying, by the way, Dominic is the one who reached out to me and helped get a lot of this set up. Thank you so much. Dominic is saying, Hayfever is Pixadome's first ever game. They're a tiny former student studio. A Game Jam version of the game won some awards, so they went and brought it to the market. And honestly, I can see how, because this game actually has a bit of a unique take. I would say that it's similar to various platformers that a lot of people here have played, like Dust Force, Celeste, in that a lot of the controls tend to be a little bit more precise in a lot of the actions, but it has its own unique spin on that, and that specifically is with the allergy mechanics, which we'll get into plenty later on.
Yeah, I very much so identify with allergy mechanics, but we'll see what this is.
Oh, geez.
I don't want to spoil too much of this.
I get hay fever, and it's the buds. It's so bad, okay?
I think I'm mostly pollen. Like, pollen is my kryptonite. I think I'm slightly allergic to cats as well, but not enough that I want to avoid cats, because they're adorable.
Yeah, don't avoid cats. I'm not allergic to cats, thank goodness. Yeah, I can still definitely enjoy cats in my life. Although I don't have any cats. I want a cat.
You should get a cat.
Well,
Does Justin like cats?
he's okay with them. He's allergic though.
Oh, like how?
Like-
well, okay.
Like you. Except that
so-
he's probably less patient than you when it comes to dealing with allergies.
Oh gosh, I lived with one for like a year and a half, and what I learned is like when I live with a cat, I can be used to it and fine, and that's fine. So, I encourage you and Justin to get a cat. And
You lived with the cat.
well, it's not like it was my roommate, but I lived with a cat, and you know, like when you live with like a kitten or a cat, it's their home and you're just there. So
Yeah, you're basically right there. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I'm working on getting everything captured for this stream. Everybody, this is going to be a 2-hour stream. If you need, go ahead and grab a drink. Come on back in just a little bit. I would love to have people stay here, especially since it looks like we're probably going to be giving keys out for this game during the stream.
exciting.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
skill, but
I am
super fun.
all down for some of that, for some of the free gifts that people give out sometimes.
Yeah, especially when it's for like a really enjoyable video game. Although, like, you know me, and I like everything. Mostly.
Yeah, if people want to spread the word a little bit about the free gifts as well, feel free to do that. I know that people are going to be pretty dang excited to get a few things.
Are you making a cool tweet about this?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to capture the streams glitch with. I'm sorry. I don't have
Let me
1
just-
billion hands here. Okay, let me go
I
ahead
would
and
hope it's okay. You can take time, it's fine.
Are you gonna tweet about this, Perceptual? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I sound like, just me and my nagging.
Hey, it looks like we have one other person joining us on Discord. Hello. I believe it's Coney. Coney, are you here?
Sorry. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, so I figured I'd join because I made the game. So.
Oh my gosh,
uh,
go ahead and introduce yourself, Coney.
Hello, guys. My name is Connie. I'm the art guy, I guess, on the team. I've done most the level design and game design and art and animation. I've done a lot of stuff. We're like 2 people who made this game, along with a composer, sound designer, and a guy that made tools and stuff.
It's amazing to me when I see something that's this polished that had such a small team. I've really enjoyed playing this, though. I still need to beat it. It's just, I'm at the point where everything's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we it's kind of funny that this game ended up being what it is, because it was a very humble beginning. Me and Jonas, my friend, who are the 2 main devs, we just wanted to make a game that we really wanted to play, and we are very much into very hard platformers. And I'm a big fan of Super Meat Boy, so that was sort of the inspiration for the game. So it's definitely one of the harder platformers, but I tried my best to make it like fair. But you never know, because we are 2 people, so we didn't have that big of a testing team or anything.
Yeah.
So it's very great to get to see other people play it on streams and stuff, because we learn a lot from that.
It does feel mostly fair. At least with World 1. 2 gets a little rough, honestly, but
Yeah.
it's real good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do have to say that you're always going to find somebody who is a little bit nitpicky about 1 or 2 things, but honestly, I really have to nitpick in order to find stuff that I would like a little bit different. But honestly,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and save that for later. No,
Remember,
but
that's his
honestly,
nitpick corner.
I love the music. I love the aesthetics. The main character is pretty adorable, and the controls really feel tight.
Oh,
Honestly,
that's awesome.
yeah, I would say that compared to what's the game? What's the game that I'm thinking of? Super Meat Boy you brought up. Super Meat Boy is a little bit slippery and sometimes a bit hard to control. This one is not.
Wow, that's a big compliment.
I mean,
I always tried to be at least as good as Super Meat Boy, and I don't know if I got close or not, but that was definitely a aimed direction.
Yeah, I feel like you nailed it when it comes to the controls there.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah. Let me take a look. Oh my gosh. I asked somebody to do audio for us, and I completely forgot who it was. Who is doing it? Welcome to my life.
I feel like it was not Xandra, is the only thing I know.
Not Xandra. Okay.
Audio.
Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much.
I want to give a shout out to Fishfinger in the chat. He has been one of the speedrunners who's been running this game non-stop since it came out. So I just want to say hey, because he's
pretty
a
much
big fan
from
of the
the
game.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around in my Discord since 2018, I think. So
whoa.
Yeah, just wanted to say hello to him.
So it's Coney, right? How to pronounce it? I just don't want to get that wrong. Okay, cool.
Well, it's fine. People call the reason behind my nickname Coney is because people say my name very different. My real name is Connie, but some people say Connie, and all kinds of things. So it's fine.
I love it.
Whatever works. So the Coney's place thing makes a lot more sense to me. That I found.
Yeah. Yeah, we tried to hide a lot of secrets in the game.
Yeah, I found that one as well.
Yeah,
awesome.
In World 1, and less in World 2, and I think I found one in 3, and then nothing for the rest of the game.
I think there's most secrets in World 1 and World 4, and 3 has a lot of secrets too, but I think 1 and 4 has the most.
We've got the accordion music. That's what I love.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute blast. We've got Xandra, Andy, Lizdar, and NPC Lives going up against each other in this blind race. They may be in Twitch chat, which is fine because spoilers are really not going to help them at all. Yeah, as it turns out, this game is mostly skill-based and not really knowledge-based. So they will be working on getting everything learning the controls and learning how to do them reliably. Now, with that said, the levels are fairly different as they progress, and honestly, I feel like each level sort of tests a certain type of skill. So we'll go ahead and see how they do.
Because I am a very smart commentator, I completely forgot to bring up the multi-Twitch with everybody, so I am getting that set up on my side.
That would be extremely helpful. Like, my stream is a little bit delayed, so this link for the multi-Twitch would definitely make things more synced up for everybody in commentary. Yeah,
I'm a big boomer when it comes to streaming, so I'm just watching it. Your stream for all the other people.
So I'll drop a link for you, Coney, if you want to see everything like live.
No, that's great.
You know, you're a big boomer, but you made a video game like this?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. Now, Coney, where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Okay. Sweden. I think that there are a few people in the speedrunning community who are pretty dang awesome, who live in Sweden. So I don't know. Whenever I've seen games or content coming from there, it's always been pretty exciting for me.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I know that there's like one Swedish speedrunner that's in the top charts for Mario 64 speedruns.
Yeah, who is that?
Oh, what's his name? I should probably look it up.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, I mean, I think there's Bad Breaks, who's in the community as well. Yagamoth, I think he's living in Japan right now, but he definitely has been heavily involved in speedrunning.
Tago is his name, the guy I was talking about.
Tago.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's even climbed his ladder. He's second now. He was fourth just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Good for him.
That's awesome.
I gotta start doing runs of this after this event at some point.
I love seeing speedruns because, like, you see people run levels different, and they find routes that I didn't even know existed, and they find bugs that I didn't know existed either.
Yeah.
So
you know what? During my blind playthrough, I didn't find any bugs at all. Everyone is going to, like, people are going to find something, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. We found one interesting glitch that we've been trying to solve for a week now in World 4. I'm not gonna spoil the mechanic, but if you jump into a corner in some strange fashion, you can do like some sort of teleport glitch. And
yeah,
we're trying to figure that one out.
That happened to me a lot. And really teleporting me into Briars, which is not an optimal place to be in this video game.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit deadlier than I would want. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that, honestly, if there are glitches that everyday people are going to find, then go ahead and work on getting those out. But if they're, the weird thing that only people who, like, play the game over and over and over again will find, that is not even a big deal at all.
Yeah, my philosophy is that, like you said, if the casual first-time player don't find the bug, then that's all right. Or if they don't find it while playing it a couple of times. But if the bug is fun for speedrunners to use, I kind of want to keep it in.
Yeah, that's what we love.
Yeah, and
really enjoy that.
The same thing with like level design. I enjoy when people find like weird skips, and I'm like, you broke my level design. But if they enjoy it, then that's all the better, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. And honestly, people who spend a lot of time playing these games often have a huge amount of love for the game. Breaking it is just the way that they show that love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, though.
It is extremely true. Like, if we didn't love these games so much, we wouldn't try to break them so much.
Yeah.
I guess we should probably maybe mention like the mechanics of this video game.
Oh yeah, that could help.
Basically, you have run, jump, and sneeze, and what you're going to do is inhale allergens, and you can hold up to 3 of those. The more allergens you have when you sneeze, you get a more forceful sneeze, and if you try to get a 4th allergen, you just you get a forced sneeze. Which I think it's like the same as a level 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's when you reach the 4th sneeze, you sneeze automatically at max power.
Yeah, that can really throw you off if you're not paying attention. But at the same time, it can be used to propel yourself really far forward. So, a double-edged sword.
Yes.
So I wrote a little snippet of just like, I can relate to this game because Thomas has allergies and loses the mail, and so do I.
That's... Oh my gosh, yeah, I get hay fever. It's not good. Specifically, look, my grandfather worked on a ranch, grew his own hay, and I had to go and work quite a bit, and it was miserable. Absolutely miserable trying to do that work. Yeah, so simply put, if you have hay fever, don't work for your grandfather. You'll be fine.
Especially if he wants you to work with hay, but
Oh, that too, yeah.
I love the red allergen bubble thingies because they basically just act like Donkey Kong barrels.
Yes.
Spinning. And they're
That was actually the inspiration behind them. And the same thing with the arrows. I think Donkey Kong has arrows that are aimed automatically, right? And then when you jump into them, you get propelled in that direction. I think they have something like that.
There are ones that you can point that will rotate around, and others that just force you in a specific direction.
Right.
Everyone in chat is sneezing right now, by the way. Stop sneezing. Oh my gosh.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands, everybody. Maybe wash your face too if you're sneezing this much.
Just take a shower.
Just take a shower, okay? You're gonna be happy once you do. Yeah, I'm looking at Xandra's stream, by the way. Xandra is currently struggling a little bit with an area. If you sneeze up against a wall, as it turns out, you actually end up bouncing off the wall, and that can have both good and bad effects depending.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see which one is the bottom right?
The bottom right, NPC. NPC lives. He's been someone who has won some of the tournaments that we've had for blind races. Yeah. What?
Oh, cool.
What about him?
I saw NPC doing trying to do the skip in this level. It's an intended skip, the one with the letter at the
Oh,
the
yeah.
hole there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky to get, but it shaves off maybe like 20 seconds or something.
Into the spikes! I love it.
Yeah, it is real tight to get that. I ended up getting it once when I was trying to learn this video game.
Uh-oh.
And it just, oof.
Now, Andy is currently running into an area where he kind of wants to do boosts here, but boosting through that area.
So
oh, it was very close. Everybody look at the right side. Look at what Andy is going for right here. Let's see what he can do. Ooh, maybe next time.
I don't know if you can sneeze again right away to get out of that.
No, you will fly right into the B. You can do a diagonal sneeze before you get into the red one, and save yourself there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can sneeze before the B.
Yeah, the trigger.
Hey, he is through. Now, remember, everybody, we are judging this based off of the amount completed. If there's a tie at the end, then it is based off of the number of letters that they have collected.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. See,
Also, the Xandra's level not Xandra, Listar's level right now, the bottom left. The hard version of this level is a nightmare, and thank you for that.
oh my gosh. The thing is,
I feel so evil for doing this to you.
like, honestly, the game starts out pretty enjoyable and easy, and then the difficulty just ramps up. Xandra onto an interesting level here. I really enjoy the static levels where, individual screens are stuck so that you can see everything that you need to do there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love
I tried to get some puzzly areas in as well, so it's not just like running through every area. So there's a little bit of pacing difference. That's what the one-room puzzle rooms are for.
I'm a big fan of the one-room rooms.
Oh, same here. I feel like they're some of the best.
Thanks.
So did we mention what the car's name is? Because that is probably the most adorable part of this video game.
What's the car's name again?
The car's name is Carly.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love the car.
It is so cute.
Oh, that's yeah. That's, by the way, because she's a car. Unless that wasn't clear.
Get it?
I never would have guessed.
Oh, okay.
Creating jokes to
So-
Recentia 101.
Wow. So, I'm watching this. You said that you worked on the art, right?
Yes.
So, did you pretty much make everything that we're seeing? Were there other people who contributed visually, or?
All art is me.
Oh my gosh. I love the clouds in the background. It's just a small, really enjoyable touch. And I would say that I actually like the aesthetics of the second world even more.
That's interesting, because when you guys were playing what was it called? Donkey Dunk? No?
Wait, you watched
King
that?
Kong 10?
Oh,
Something?
jeez.
Yes, because it has like this very grimy look in the beginning. I was like, wonder what he thought about the city level in Hayfever.
I actually like it because it doesn't feel grimy, it feels nostalgic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It feels... It's got an old-timey feel to it that's charming. Anyway, that's my assessment. I'm a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Donk Kong or whatever. Dunk Kong, there we go.
I beat that video game for Sencha.
You beat Dunk Kong?
Yes, I did.
I'm so sorry.
It is an experience.
By the way, one thing that people in chat did notice, Andy is getting what is essentially an allergen that gives you infinite sneezes. That, although it is helpful, it can be slightly problematic in certain ways as well, because simply put, if you're not always sneezing, you start being affected by gravity, which can help, and I don't know, there are so many complex mechanics. You're going to see a lot of deaths because of it.
Yes, and you also have to juggle yourself a lot with it in many levels.
Yeah. The Rainbow Sneeze is my favorite, far and away.
Okay, Liz has the infinite sneeze. You know, I feel like I like the red sneezes more, and I like the arrows more, because I don't even have to use my brain at that point.
You can just put the controller down and take a quick nap.
Yeah.
God, I love when I don't have to use my brain.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best.
That's why I have other people playing video games and not me.
The game just plays itself. What do I have to do?
Oh, Andy! Oh, Andy! Andy is still alive! Oh my gosh. Never mind. He's dead. Oh, sorry, I get really excited. Oh!
There were some moments in practice where I pulled off some really clutch I'm falling and then now I'm not dying moments. And those always feel so good.
Oh my gosh.
The thing we liked designing the most in this game is levels where you juggle yourself a lot between different pollens.
I love the juggling. Honestly, it almost gets to puzzle level in World 2 when it comes to the different pollens that are there, especially with keys in that area.
Yeah, it just makes this look easy.
We'll probably see that later.
No,
Did you guys end up finding the secret in World 2?
I did not find a secret in World 2.
I thought I did. The one where you... Is it the infinite sneeze secret? Was it?
No.
Jog my
I'm
memory.
referring... you kind of go up a tower. I don't want to give away too much.
I don't think I did. Yeah, don't give it away. I don't think I actually found that one, though.
Okay. Because the most obscure secrets are kind of silly. We made the weirdest secrets hardest to find.
There's some levels in World 2 that just invoke like a specific old video game that I don't want to spoil, and they feel so good. But hopefully we'll get there. I think.
I would love to know the game reference later.
I know it's level 210, but we'll see if we get there, which we will.
I love hearing like what people reference this game to, because it's always so different. Some people say Yoshi's Island, some people say Donkey Kong, some say Celeste, some say Super Meat Boy. So it's very fun to like hear.
The dash mechanic from Sneezes definitely is very evocative of Celeste.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would agree. It's it made me think of Celeste and Dust Force first, although there's a lot. Let's see, a lot of games that do have these precise mechanics out there. Especially as of late, this has become a genre that people have been playing to pieces, which frankly I think is great. Honestly, more people need to play some of the games like this.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've missed kind of really difficult games, which is also kind of why I want to make a really hard game. Is I rarely find platformers that are very hard. They're usually kind of casual.
Yeah,
So-
well, if you ever want to go look at the old Nintendo library and find games that are both challenging and absolutely ridiculous, there are
Yes.
plenty there. The thing is, what I really like about this genre is that it's difficult, but at the same time, it's really fast to get back into the action. You know, even if you die, you do not feel like you're losing too much. You still feel like you're in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of older games sort of suffered from not really understanding that concept, you know, putting you back due to limited continues, putting you, you know, adding a lot of, I'd say, artificial time, whereas this is not artificial time. You're always going.
yeah,
I
when you
believe they
die,
did a
you-
lot of that because they wanted to make the games longer, right?
Yeah, well, part of it had to do with memory limitations on the Nintendo. You know, they could
Yeah.
only put so much into it, so many different levels, and a lot of them pretty much filled up the memory anyway, the amount of storage space. So, yes, it was a strategy to make it longer, but yeah, you don't really have that with this game because, you know, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the time, and each level sort of has new ideas. That's something that I love about games like this, because they echo a lot of the difficulty of older games while not echoing the repetitiveness.
Was this the
Oh,
first level with the cat?
top right
Yes.
is having a is going to be having a really hard time.
Yeah,
because this
yeah.
cat level is really hard.
This level kicked my butt, okay? If anybody in Discord saw me complaining about cats, it was this.
I was so happy to see a cat in a stage that I did not mind any sort of spike in difficulty.
It... yeah, let's just say everybody's going to die a lot. Oh, Andy!
There is a thing that we should be seeing very shortly on Andy's screen, I think in the next week, that I don't want to spoil, but I want to point out when we get there, because I did not notice it as I was playing through the worlds.
One thing that I do want to point out, it looks like Liz is actually onto one of the fun boost parts here as well. But hey, Andy is through one of the challenging parts there. Simply put,
Yeah.
the amount of allergen that you have really affects the distance that you go. So some of those jumps, like having one allergen is probably the most important. Having more than that can cause problems.
Overwhelming amount of cats on screen
Wow,
now.
Andy got through the cat room.
Now we're getting the first time you want the scarecrow to really throw things at you.
Yeah, they are really hard to get something to hit you. So you're lining yourself up like this is the best way of getting that to happen.
Yeah, so you did a lot of the layouts for the levels as well, right?
Yes.
What was sort of your primary goal when you went to design a new level?
Well, I'm a big fan of Nintendo games, and they have sort of this 1, 2, 3 approach to their level design.
Okay.
And that means like they take like one concept, one idea, and then they repeat it 3 times. So basically, like there's one level about cats, right? So I introduce the cat first in a section where it's a bit safer, so they understand what this level is going to be about, and then I take that idea and I try to use it again in a different way. And in the
Okay.
third section, I try to make an area where you kind of perfect it. I did that a lot for many levels, especially in the beginning, and then later in other levels, it's just like, I want this level to be all about juggling. So then that level has a lot of juggling. So it has some sort of like gameplay theme.
Yeah, I gotcha. Honestly, I've done some comedy. Comedy also does things like that as well in sets of 3 that generally that's going to be enough to get people to have as much appreciation for a specific concept as possible. If you do it more than that, it starts feeling repetitive. I approve. I approved of the rule of 3.
Yeah, but it was definitely a hard challenge to do that. I think we have around 140 levels in this game, and you only have so much inspiration.
Oh yeah,
I remember specifically when I was designing World 3, that was like a really hard time during development, and that was tough. Like I was designing levels for I think 3 months straight, and at the end of that marathon of level designing, I was like, wow, what am I doing?
See, what you do, you just make it a Mega Man game so that every level has the same platforming, you know?
Yeah, well,
let's not do that. I would say World 3 is my favorite world, far and away.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's something about those, like, I think Dominic put it, of just like World 3 is kind of just going with the flow. And it's just a real relaxing time.
Yeah, I wanted a level world that is a lot more like calm compared to the rest of the game, to sort of break that up a bit. I look forward to seeing how the runners react to that world, because it's kind of different in the way of mechanics. I'm not gonna spoil it yet because the chat haven't seen it.
Yeah,
we are planning to go for 2 hours for this match to see how far they're able to make it. Because they've never played the game before, we actually are a little bit unsure how far they're going to make it. However, just seeing some of these players, I feel like we're going to see more than just World 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was thinking just World 2 would be what we get, but I think we're going to get to 3 or at
See,
least late 2.
this is what makes me angry about like Andy and NPC and actually everybody involved, because they're so much better at playing a game blind than I am.
Well, this is why you make them play the games while you talk.
I know, and they always do better than I ever could have expected.
I'm so
They
proud
sort
of
of
them.
play it the same way I do. It's like they played the game as much as I have.
Andy is on to what I would call the boss battle here.
Yes. This is a chase boss. A lot of the bosses are designed to be chasey.
Yeah.
There's they all have different sort of quirks to them. But the first boss is basically just a chase level.
I love that there are like multiple bees just carrying this boss around.
Well, when you're the the bee that's in charge, you get to tell other bees to carry you.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
I might have met a mob boss earlier this week. I'm not completely sure. Oh my gosh, it's coming!
Oh
Andy,
my-
Andy, get away!
Go get
Oh,
the
he
letters.
made it! That
I
was
spent so much
sick.
time getting letters, and maybe that's why it took so long.
Yeah, that probably took me a good 5 more minutes.
Okay, so I do want to point out, which we sort of can see at this point, as you get further in the month, not the months, question mark, you start to see the leaves change as you play through levels, and I think that's a really, really, really cool and really subtle effect that a lot of people are going to miss.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
they will.
I literally did not miss that at all.
Of course, bro, so I just saw everything.
I saw everything. Yeah, I'm didn't miss nothing.
Sorry, I miss the names of these runners again. Could you tell me which one is who?
Oh, sure. At the top left is Xandra Vandra. Top right is, we call him Andy, and 4H is what it's spelled as. Bottom left is Liz Star, and bottom right is NPC Lives.
Okay.
So Andy is currently in the lead, already to World 2. I'm kind of shocked.
Yes.
And much like real life, when you inhale smog, you turn into a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I do. I mean, we have some of the worst air quality in the nation here in my small town, and I'm basically just going around, like, making farting noises all the time. It's kind of terrifying.
Yes, and as soon as someone pokes you, explode.
Yeah, please don't poke me. Honestly, I really like this mechanic because while you can be slow and take your time in order to get through them, you just want to go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does encourage you to go fast in later times.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah, I guess we
There's
will.
also a very interesting thing that I noticed later because I started speedrunning my own game, kind of biased, kind of self-indulgent.
I do the same thing.
I noticed that you can when you hold the pollution button and then when you release it, you can sort of glide, so you kind of keep momentum, and that works very well also with fans. When fans blow you, you can stand still and just let it blow you really fast, and it's actually faster to do that than you to speed your way, like keeping the button.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
Andy,
the
right
scarecrows have
into
gotten
the
violent.
I love it.
Now we've got violent scarecrows that don't throw allergens at you. They throw killer pumpkins.
Yes.
Okay, NPC currently trying to get through this jump that's been causing a problem. He grabbed the ladder, though, and finishes that stage. I think everybody, other than Andy, is getting close to the end of the first world. Andy just plowing through, making good progress in World 2.
Wow, yeah, he's really doing great progress.
See, he's won multiple tournaments with blind video games, games that nobody else has played, so this isn't a surprise. Well, it is a surprise, but it isn't.
Yeah,
He's just really good.
Be mean to this video game and do well. Doggies!
Yeah, the dogs essentially just run to the last location where you were standing when they started moving. In many cases, I don't think they're too dangerous. You just have to make sure you're paying attention to the dogs.
Yeah, and you can't pet them, which is very sad.
Xandra trying to bait this shot from the Scarecrow. It's an interesting mechanic. You absolutely have to bait the Scarecrow in order to throw and then move into position so that you can actually make the distance so that you go far enough in order to not die.
Yes, that level is definitely a run killer. And many times I've been running the game, and then at this level called Buzz, I always die here, and it's just one of those levels. It's like, oh no. There's also a skip in that level. Should I reveal the skip, or do you guys want to find it yourself?
I mean, I say go for it.
Which level is this?
Buzz is the not the final level, but the level before the final level in World 1.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It's at the end of this section. The bees stand still for a little bit. You can actually go over the wall of bees to the right if you sneeze over them.
Oh, I saw Andy do that.
Oh, really?
Yes,
nice.
He did. Yeah, so I was sitting here watching. I was like, how is he going to do it? Because the bees to the left are coming. The bees to the right are staying. And then he just went over them. I'm like, Andy, really?
Andy is in what I will call the irritating stick levels.
Oh, yeah. Like, you want to go fast, but you also die from the pumpkins.
Yeah, and just don't touch the walls. The walls are lava, or spikes.
Now, this game actually works both with the analog stick and the D-pad. I actually found that these levels were much easier with a D-pad. Being able to control going straight up, down, left, right, or at an angle. Honestly, I would switch between the stick and the D-pad pretty much all the time, depending on the situation.
Interesting. That's one of those testing things that we didn't really think of, because we're such retro gamers by heart. So we always play with D-pad, and we sort of, for some reason, just assume that everyone else does the same.
I literally did not touch the analog stick my entire playthrough of this video game.
See,
yeah,
but
like
my thumb hurt.
Gamers like that.
My thumb hurt. I had to figure out how am I going to conserve my thumb if I keep using the D-pad. So
very fine point.
Yeah, and there were some parts that actually worked a little bit easier with the stick for me. But yeah, my thumb got sore.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Maybe I need a better controller. Oh no,
I
Andy!
love that in these levels how you just start stacking different mechanics on top of each other to clear puzzles. It's such a creative and fun way to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I actually that ended up being the most fun design experience as well. Just to sort of start juggling that. In World 4, we do a ton of that stuff, and at the end of development, we were really excited to at some point do some type of DLC. We'll see if it makes sense to do, but I would love to do even more with these types of juggling different mechanics.
It looks like one of our players is having a bit of a hard time with the D-pad, though she is pretty dang aware that the D-pad is a little bit old on her controller. So,
oh, that's unfortunate.
There's definitely been, especially with the red sneezes, like you have to buffer your input on them, and even then I feel like I was getting a wrong sneeze at sometimes.
Oh, Andy's also complaining because he decided not to run in 60 frames per second. Wow, Andy. You're still winning, you nerd. Oh my gosh. Stop complaining, Andy. You're winning the game right now.
Every time Andy complains, he needs to stop the game for 10 minutes.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan. Oh, this part kicked my butt.
Oh,
if Andy first tries it, I'm going to be so angry.
I love being chased in this
It took me like 10 minutes to get through this part. But also I was going for letters.
Yeah, I tried to get as many letters as possible.
I think he's gonna do it.
I'm so angry. No, seriously, so dumb.
Fans. I don't like fans.
I think both Liz and Sandra is going to be at the boss almost at the same time, yeah.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty good. Lizstar and Xandra are getting pretty close to the end of World 1. We're on to the boss. Andy's just in a league of his own. NPC getting pretty close to the end of World 1 as well.
Yeah.
I like the expressionless bee boss, though. Just like, as it pushes you along, it just doesn't seem to care about what it's doing at all.
It's like, hey, I'm a bee.
Just gotta go through this way, don't mind me.
But you murder the mailman. We gotta mind. Okay?
Yeah,
They have that Monday mood face going on.
Oh my gosh, I had that like all week. Oh, Xandra. I love Xandra's ideas, trying to take some shortcuts. I'm not sure it's worth it. Here's the deal. When you're doing a blind race, you generally want to go with a strategy that is going to be consistent rather than fastest. Unless you're Andy, in which case you're a giant nerd.
Okay, this is the thing I was talking about earlier with Andy. This level reminded me of Micro Machines on the retro consoles.
Oh, I love this level. Oh my gosh. Whew.
It is one of my favorite levels in the game, and anytime there was like a track to go through while the boosting, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I love this.
Every level that is very stressful is usually made by Jonas. He is the programmer on the game, and he also helped me make levels. So this one chase level with the electricity is done by him.
It's
so whenever
like
you feel
Battletoads.
like, oh my god, I'm so stressed, that's probably one level.
I love it. And yeah, I'm comparing it to Battletoads because it's very much like the stupid circle level in Battletoads.
I haven't played Battletoads, but I hear it's like one of the most infamous NES games ever.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
It is a game that tricks you into thinking that it's a beat 'em up when it is absolutely not a beat 'em up.
Yeah, like it starts out a beat 'em up, but that's it.
Yep. The rest is
yeah. Oh, you should try Battletoads, okay? Because I feel like it's brilliant. It has flaws, but it's not because the game's bad. It's just because they were experimenting with things that like nobody else had tried.
Yeah, that was an interesting time where a lot of these conventions that we are so used to now, they didn't even know they didn't exist back then. They had to invent them all.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta give them props for that.
Oh, this is in World 2.
It's really hard to come up with good ideas when it comes to video games. I'm going to be honest. You know, but we still managed to have some unique aspects. The whole sneezing aspect in this game is like something that I'd never seen before.
I guess it's thematically different.
Yeah, like Celeste did have, of course, the dashes going into it, and there are other games that have dashes. It feels different from all of those other games, though, you know? And thematically, absolutely, it's got its own style.
So I have to
I
ask.
would have been shocked if I had competition with another sneezing game.
Yeah, I have to ask specifically about that. Like,
I mean,
did you
there's
go with
Booger Man, a pick and flick
True.
adventure. Yeah, good.
I played that game.
I'm so sorry. It's not good.
Yeah, no.
Did you intend to make a game about sneezing first, or did you make a game about boosting first and then decided sneezing would be awesome?
Actually, the idea behind Hayfever was like when I was going to school, I have this problem where when I go into new rooms, I usually start sneezing a lot. So I'm always been a big fan of like really stupid ideas and trying to make them cool. So that was the sort of the idea behind like, can I make sneezing an interesting game? And that sort of turned into this. And the game, or well, more the brand that I refer to a lot is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because that's just like when you say that, like, what is that even? Like, how could that ever be cool? But they made it cool anyhow, and that's sort of what I love about games. Or like that's what I love doing is like taking weird ideas and trying to make them cool in some way.
Oh, I love it. That's how you make an interesting video game.
I've actually been thinking about that with some stories as well, but yeah, here's the deal, okay? When I first saw this game, I saw the mailman. I'm like, okay, mailmen are okay. And then I saw the drippy nose, and I'm like, that is my least favorite anime trope, pretty much, of all time. But
is Hayfever anime now?
Like, no, this isn't anime. Although we could make an anime out of it, I suppose.
I'll wait for that licensing deal.
But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I just hate that sort of image. But then I played the game and I'm like, okay, I can absolutely get where it's coming from. Okay. But
yeah, I really love actually hearing people like sort of discuss Thomas as a character as well, because it's obviously like a mascot kind of platformer game, right?
Yeah.
So it's so fun hearing people like, what would it be like if Thomas was in Smash or something? Like, what would his movesets be? Because he is very non-violent. So it's very interesting to me to hear like people's crazy ideas about him.
Yeah, like if he pulled out a knife, I might be a little bit concerned.
You never know what he does after
He's a
hours.
violent postman.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to make the game as non-violent as I could while still having violence in it, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
he dies very gruesomely, but it's sort of in a funny, like, innocent way.
Well, he dies of allergies. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
not
thematic.
awesome.
I mean, I've pretty much almost died of allergies, you know?
Yeah.
I was just like Thomas at least a few times in my life.
You had to survive a rigorous amount of platforming to deliver the mail.
Well, I mean, it was swimming, first off, and second off, I'm not surprised my parents didn't take me to the emergency room because I was not really able to breathe.
Whoa.
Yeah, so...
Gosh, Andy doing things the quick way on that stage.
I can't believe it. Well, no, I can believe it.
Now we've got red angry bees that chase you. As
Yeah.
if regular bees were not enough.
Yeah, I love that when you die, they still hover around where you were. Or, like, when you die, they're just aggressively attacking wherever you were.
Yeah, it's the bee's ways of teabagging, I guess.
Oh gosh.
I love
Not the
it.
words I
Well,
expected to hear today.
I'm really trying to think because I've played games with enemies that do that, and that's, like, always been my favorite thing when enemies do a sort of victory dance on you.
Yeah.
I do appreciate how much they like chase you around, and they only stop chasing when you get far enough away.
Oh, he missed the key.
Oh, I have to laugh whenever Andy misses something. Take that, Andy.
Oh, I missed it again!
For another loop!
Versentia invites Andy just to taunt Andy.
Well, like, you know, when there's a clear favorite to win something, you gotta taunt him a little bit.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, very nice. Into the
I
plane.
love-
Oh, by the way, I forgot, your car turns into a plane. Because
Mhm.
you
yes.
have the best car ever.
It makes more sense when you watch the cutscenes, which we are obviously not doing now.
I think Xander
But
has
yes,
watched
she
all
has
of
some
them.
mysterious cool powers.
Yeah. You know what? I actually worked in a post office one time. I was a postal clerk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like this back in the back offices, you know.
Are you having,
Especially the
flashbacks?
bees. There were a lot of bees.
I applied for work at a post office once, and I passed the exam, and they to work at some point eventually, but I had already found a job before that. But I almost have this experience.
Aha.
Fun fact, actually, the story is inspired a little bit by a time in my life when I worked as a gardener. And I was way overworked. We had so much overtime all the time. And so I kind of want to make a story about being overworked and having a job that's not right for you. So that's sort of where the story.
Aw, that is so charming. At the same time, being overworked as a gardener is less than charming.
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, I see what Andy's doing. This is actually kind of a trap, I'd say. You want to boost and grab the first allergy, although it looks like he did it in a way that actually worked. Thank you, Andy, for proving that I just am crap at video games.
Be nice to my friend Versentia.
I saw that the dog fell down from the roof over there.
Took me so long to get through this level, and Andy just... Oh, never mind. Ha!
my god!
Take that! Take that, Andy!
Chad is very sympathetic, and we
Oh.
are less so.
Let me tell my favorite thing about working in the post office. It was specifically that every once in a while the power went out on us. It happened a couple times while I was working there. And simply put, the postal workers, the drivers, would put their mail into a bin and cart it into the post office, and they would go through automatic doors to do this. But when the power was out, the automatic doors didn't work. And so they'd just go full speed. I'd be sitting there in the dark because the power's out, and I'd just hear a whoop. And I'm like, oh, looks like another of the male drivers is here. Because they ran full speed into the door.
Oh, no.
It was the best.
NPC is now in World 2, so congratulations.
Fabulous.
Yay! Yeah, NPC is doing pretty well. Honestly, NPC is doing about as well as I would normally expect people to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a trivial game, especially if, the challenging platformers are not your cup of tea. I know NPC, he's won some of the blind tournaments before, but he definitely does not do as much with the precision or difficult platforming as some of the other players here do. But still, he's doing pretty dang good.
He seems to
Better
be
than me.
playing very calculated, which is a good approach.
I'd say, in general, yeah, especially if you are not being pressured to go fast. That pressure
Yeah.
will come later, don't worry.
Now, I like these little
Oh,
blocks
no!
that you can only step on a certain amount of times. It was interesting to see so many different game mechanics introduced all in the same world.
True. Honestly, it sort of became a puzzle which things you should be standing on here.
Yes, it's gonna be honest, it's straight out of Yoshi's Island. I really love the little time bomb things in that game, and I wanted to see if I could make something more puzzly with them, because in Yoshi's Island they only
Are you
have them
serious,
sort of
Andy? Ugh. I'm sorry.
In Yoshi's Island, they only have it like a fun little thing. They don't do very much with them, so I wanted to try and see if I could push it a bit further.
I would say
like
you
it.
succeeded.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was one of the levels that stood out to me as fun and unique, you know?
Yeah, it's
That's
nice
awesome.
and puzzly.
Yeah, World 2 just has, I'd say, sort of bite-sized experiences with different mechanics. And, you know, somebody could go and probably create multiple freaking awesome levels with everything that's introduced here. But, you know, it's enjoyable to have that bite-sized experience because you don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Andy somehow just knowing how to navigate these. These things killed me so many times.
Oh,
Yeah, he seemed to have a great feel for the mechanics in the game already.
oh yeah.
The thing I struggled with most in this game was fans. Far and away.
Yeah.
Not the fans. Yeah, well, it was the same with Super Meat Boy for me, you know? It's just, anytime there was a level with fans, I struggled.
They're not great.
Well, it's just... The problem with Meat Boy was that if you fell past a certain point, you just were not going to be able to recover. This, because of the sneezing mechanics, there's at least the hope that you can recover.
Yeah, and when you do recover, it feels really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wanted to say one other thing, as we're talking about sort of the different mechanics that are being introduced. Mario games actually do that quite a bit, that they have one level or maybe two levels with the same mechanic, and then they just switch out to something new, and, you know, you don't really see it show up too much again. And this game has some of the echoes of that. Yeah, there are some of the stages that combine the different mechanics, but you know, it gives you just enough of that flavor that you can enjoy something without it being overdone.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a production thing where we have to use... Oh my god, I was looking at the bee being in her way there. It was also a production thing where we had to like reuse other things because, well, obviously we just two people and we only have so much time and resources to make the game. So we tried to keep things as fresh as we could with these mechanics and really like cram out as much as like unique things, reuses for the mechanics.
Okay, Andy is currently on another... Oh, jeez.
Oh, here we go. He might... Oh, he ran right into the dog.
I love this level so much that Andy's on.
This is ridiculous.
I just grabbed the bee and ran, or the blue key and ran. That worked out really well for me.
I think that's probably the best strategy. If you go a little bit slower, yeah, you can be safe. Be safe. Yeah, speaking about bees.
I think you could probably take the key and just like jump over the dogs if you're really, really good.
Yeah, the dog's the only thing that's going to get you if you just constantly sneeze forward.
Yeah.
The dogs weren't a huge problem for me, though. There
Maybe
we
he
go.
heard
Andy
me.
got it. Andy, stop listening.
A hard version of that stage where you will just actually die if you catch a key.
I do want to say, by the way, that NPC at the bottom right is doing a pretty good job of catching up right now. He is getting through some of these difficult floating areas pretty well. I'm not sure if he knows that he can just hold in order to boost, though.
I feel like he's feathering it on purpose.
He might be. There are a few places where I did that. He's going to have to learn to go fast in just a little bit, though. Got the letter and...
Wonder if we can get into the... Oh, that was close
that
to the
was
dog.
so close.
The dog was going to take the car. He plays the dog the rest of the time.
Imagine that, dude.
There we go.
The plane, he sticks out the head out of there.
Dog DLC.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
There you go. No, I won't ask that question.
Wow. Well,
Well,
that's okay.
The screen's got so many rooms for tabs on the level select screen. It's like I want twice as many stages.
Liz doing the super fast stage. This one, yes, stressed me out, but I was like, this is such a cool use of a mechanic that, you know, you generally want to go slow and be cautious.
Yeah, it's definitely a multi-purpose mechanic, and you can probably speed through a lot of the levels with it as well. I'm not as courageous as most of these speedrunners are with it, but yeah, I mean, they seem to be doing very well with it.
Yeah, I do want everybody to know, by the way, if you aren't aware, we do have signups for a 16-person tournament. If you want to learn the speedrun of this game, guess what? There are not a whole lot of people doing it. Are you still there, by the way? Hello?
Yep.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay.
We are still here.
Okay, all of the streams just sort of stopped for me, so let me go ahead and refresh everybody. Yeah, I had to ask. I was like, is Comcast happening again?
Comcast has been happening to me sometimes now too, so I can understand your pain.
Yeah, Comcast has been unreasonably kind lately. Like, I think they're plotting.
Just waiting for one big bad day.
Yeah.
Here we have the boss too.
Very nice. To the
Hey,
next boss.
This boss is not very chasey at all. You actually have to passively kill it.
I like this boss a lot. It is my favorite boss in the game.
Thanks. I'm happy that we managed to get in voice for him. In the it came in very late in development, and we barely didn't get it in at all. But I think it added a lot to his personality.
Did one of you voice him?
It's actually the sound designer that did that. Yeah.
Ooh, awesome.
The fart noises from the pollution is done by me, but it's with my mouth, so.
Oh, of course, of course.
I had to clarify.
Who did the sneezing noise? And was it from a real...
That is the sound designer who did that.
Oh, I guess that makes sense with the sound
Oh,
designer
watch
did
out,
the-
Andy! Oh, you're so dead.
The only reason, like, I just made the fart noise as a placeholder, but he thought it was so funny that he wanted to keep it in.
I love it. Yeah, this boss is being a little bit intense. But you know what? Because you're able to start back up so quickly, it's fine to have something that's much more difficult than people would necessarily expect.
Yeah.
So Andy's
Oh, no,
doing
Andy!
the shots off the bottom of the floor instead of like into the boss is what you're supposed to do.
Well, I didn't know.
That's okay.
You know, it's
I
part of
figured
figuring
out
it out.
I figured it out on accident because I just happened to be on the right side of this shot at me.
His
Oh,
boss
so
used to be even harder, actually. He used to be taking 3 hits, but we removed that and we decreased that to 2 hits instead because it was just way too hard. He seemed to have been running into a bug here, actually. Those locks are supposed to be gone.
what?
Huh.
Oh, well, there they go.
There we go.
And there goes
Oh.
Andy. Okay. And Andy put in Discord, I think I glitched it. That you did,
Yeah.
Andy. How could you?
It's okay, we love bugs.
Yeah, honestly, you know, there are a lot of games that I think that we're able to be a little bit more forgiving these days when it comes to something like that. Simply put, for an NES game, there were no updates. There was nothing that could be done about bugs. You know, if there was a bug, it was in the final version, and people just had to deal with it. These days, you know, being able to have updates, I think, allows you to be ambitious while knowing that there could still be problems, and it just takes a lot of time, especially if you only have a 2-person team doing the game.
Yeah, and you know, like, we play the game very different than most people do as well. So when people play it different, they find different bugs that we never could have found otherwise.
True.
See, I think he got the hang of this boss now.
I think so.
I
Ah,
think it's gonna.
it missed.
Oh, weird.
Oh no.
Wait,
so if
what?
you don't hit it.
Oh, he's sick. I had no idea you could do that.
Oh my gosh!
Well, there we go. New strats.
I don't think it'll help. But
I
I'm
don't
still
think so.
proud-
I mean, maybe? I don't know.
I'm still very proud of Andy.
Yes, me too.
Oh, the pollution! Come on, Andy! Oh, he got it! Oh, what? Never mind.
The rest of the runner seems to be about the same length into the game now.
Yeah, honestly, you know, it's just one person who's way ahead of the game, and then the other three are pretty dang close. NPC and Xandra on the same section. NPC getting through.
Maybe Andy's gonna be stuck on this boss for long enough for them to catch up.
Come on, Andy, struggle!
Ooh,
Just like they did in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh wow, interesting.
He's such a happy little cloud. I like him.
Not Sandra. Liz has put herself in a position where she can't actually reach the red key. And has to take a bath.
Yeah, I did that myself. I thought that I would have to be on the left side of the screen in order to finish. I don't know. I'm really... Whenever there's something that should be obvious for a direction to follow, I do, like, the opposite. And honestly, it should have been obvious, go to the right, because that's how you do platforming games, but I'm just dumb sometimes.
There's secrets to the left for Ascension, don't you know?
Well, I assumed there are.
Oh, the fake outs! Oh, gosh.
Oh, geez. Okay. Xandra onto one of the sort of tricky race parts here. Not gonna lie, I've died a few times here. Oh, Xandra, no, don't get greedy.
I am noticing some of the times when you die, it doesn't actually reset the world state. Like when Andy got back to the cloud boss, there were still some purple cloud residues going.
Oh yeah, that's a good catch.
Oh, very nice.
I noticed it in hard mode mostly.
Oh, geez. So, you say hard mode. What's the difference between the modes?
It's not that much different, more than it's just harder versions of the levels in the easier worlds. So
Okay.
it's basically 1 month or season, I suppose, with each week being the different seasons, and they're just harder versions of the normal game. And if you beat it, you get like the true ending of the game.
Ooh, I have to go get that ending.
Oh, you get to be the postmaster.
I guess so.
I want to be the postmaster. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, there is a lot of content for this because Andy is just about halfway through the game, 58 minutes into it, and there are bonus really, really difficult levels, which I think I saw a speed run of the difficult levels only once on YouTube, and
Oh, really?
yeah, they're pretty tough.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, I think Andy landed a hit.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Andy's gonna figure this out.
Oh boy.
And Liz at this point is living in a world of smog. So I think the longer you...
Oh, Andy, no!
Oh gosh!
Oh,
Well, he has to be fuming right now.
nah.
Nah.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Andy mad.
Yeah, he usually just laughs at himself.
Yeah.
Have you guys known these runners for a long time?
I've known most of them for, I'd say, at least a good few years.
Wow.
I've known Liz a lot. I used to live with her for a little bit.
Oh, really?
I've known Xandra for probably 4 or 5 years. NPC and Andy I learned from Cuso Grande, but Andy came to my engagement party, so that's fun.
Yeah, NPC I learned because of Cusa Grande, but honestly, we've gotten to hang out at various speedrunning marathons. You know, it's honestly, I've made some really good friends in this community, and yeah, they're friends.
Same.
That's awesome. It's fantastic that you guys keep it so close.
And we are moving on to winter for Andy.
My favorite levels. I love the verticality of the levels.
Oh my
They're
gosh!
so different.
NPC! That was great. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but I am in love with the accordion, okay? And I really want to learn how to play the accordion. Like, my grandma gave me an accordion. Not gave, she let me borrow her accordion. How about that? And was like, okay, you need to learn it. But I was a very small kid, and it was a very heavy, giant accordion. Like, probably about as big as I was, okay? And I couldn't really hold it very long.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, so guess what? It stayed in the closet a lot and finally ended up back at my grandma's. And like, I think a little bit before she died, I remember going to her house and she's like, you remember that accordion? It's sitting in my son's storage, not being played. You need to get the accordion back. I'm like, okay, Grandma.
It's just so aggressive.
That's like her final wish for me. Get the accordion back.
So what you're saying is we're going to hear live accordion music from Brosentia in the future.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like that or Grandma's ghost might come and haunt me a little bit. And you know, I don't want that. Oh, those springy dudes are pretty cool. Oh man.
Yeah, they were. I had a hard time like figuring out what they were supposed to be, and then I was like, well, maybe they're just gonna be weird, I guess.
I like
the little beat that they have that came in later, just to sort of make sense of them out of them. Because otherwise they were just like an egg jumping, and I was like, I don't know what that's all about.
It's
I
very
like the jumping
Christmassy,
egg. I get it.
jumping eggs.
I think I jumped in the level that Andy just beat. I think I jumped into every single pit thinking that there might be a secret in that stage. There
I
wasn't
think
a
there
secret.
is one in that level, not sure though.
Let me just say, I love that the clouds are just flying up chasing you. Like, I'm so used to it being stressful lather or something, but clouds?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this. This is fun.
I love the blue and red clouds in the background that foreshadow
They're so pretty.
later in the world.
Yeah, thank you.
You do a lot of interesting things about like the background stages and how they kind of change over time. I guess to depict like the season passing on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in this world, it was kind of hard to do that sort of. So I kind of went with the nebulas here was something that I really wanted to get in to get more color into the world, because it was like, what can you do with space? So like, in the beginning, I was thinking like, space is kind of dark, but then I started looking for reference. I was like, wow, it's actually very, very colorful.
Yeah, I like the design.
And then in a later stage in World 3, I tried to make it a little bit more sort of like a
sorry, the wind.
Dollhouse thing.
Oh, that made me happy. That is so fast.
The wind is
happened?
very pushy.
Oh, the blowy snowmen guys, they are intense.
Yes.
They are not messing around at all. They see you, you're dead.
On our Discord, actually, people really love the emote for the snowman because it kind of looks like they're kissing. So they make like this kissing emote for a lot of stuff. It's really fun.
Do you have a link to the Discord, or is it listed on your Twitter?
If you guys go to hayfevergame.com, there's a link for the Discord at the bottom. There's also we do some speedrun events on there as well, but the community actually started their own speedrunning Discord for this game. I'm
that
not moderating
lot.
it; it's the fans that do it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that there are people getting excited about this.
Yeah, the most fun part of having made this game is watching people run it, because that's sort of, I mean, I figured that was going to be the case when I started designing the game. Like, this is probably a pretty good running game, so I'm happy that people see that in it.
By the way, Lizstar is currently in second place after Andy. Andy is currently winning. Xandra appears to be in third and NPC in fourth, although still those three players are pretty dang close to each other. Andy still has the commanding lead. Thank you, Andy.
My favorite parts now are coming up. Just the anti-gravity stuff and the kind of lofty jumps. It's so good.
I've always been a fan of like anti-gravity stuff in games. The biggest issue is that with a lot of them, it makes things really difficult to control, but it doesn't look like that's the case here, especially since it lets you be a little floatier in that.
It definitely helps that you have the sneeze ability as well, because then you can sort of help propel yourself from danger sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Andy.
I think that's the catchphrase for this stream. Oh, Andy.
Yeah, basically. Oh my gosh. Oh, this.
Andy taking like the super hard way through this when you could just kind of like hang out on one of the sides and go between the spikes.
Yeah, but you gotta do it the fun way, okay?
I thought my way was fun too, but okay.
Well, too bad. You were
Rosetta
wrong.
said no. Sorry. I'll never do it again. I'll have fun with all of my video games from now on.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear.
I don't like how you won this.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing I do have to mention is like I'm not sure if blue-red is the colors, but like color blindness can cause a real problem because the blue is a downward loftiness, red is upwards, and there's some stuff later with the keys.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Huh.
Yeah, that was actually something we got to know very late. Our sound designer is actually colorblind, but he didn't really know that the keys were color-coded. So he was like, huh, this level kind of is kind of weird. I'm like, what? Why is that? I was like, yeah, the keys are just like, they look the same. And then I realized like, yeah, that's what it is. And it was just something that I missed completely. And I think what we could have done different is having the keys be different shapes and the locks be different shapes or something. I think Mario does something like that with the doors. They have like symbols in the corner or something.
I believe so, yeah. Honestly, it's something that, people haven't really started paying too much attention to lately, except for the last 5 or 10 years. I'm a bit colorblind. Honestly, I wouldn't have noticed that with the sparkles glitch, which if you hadn't told me, honestly, I couldn't tell that they were different colors, and it still is a little bit hard for me to tell which is which.
Luckily, most of the game isn't really designed where you have to coordinate these keys so much. I think it's only that one level or maybe two. So it shouldn't cause that much of an issue, I don't think.
By the way, I see Bell Drama in chat. It looks like they're the programmer for this game, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Jonas, yes.
Jonas! Good to have you here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Those strats from Andy, very nice.
I'm starting to worry Andy might just beat this game. Well, I guess I shouldn't worry about that.
I mean, that would actually be super impressive. I'd be surprised if that happens. Yeah,
He's getting there.
Yeah, honestly, we're all a little bit shocked at how he's doing, but that's just because, you know, he's played a lot of these types of games. I know that he played a lot of Dust Force. Back
I love that
day.
game. It's so good.
I'm really bad at it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. I haven't even beaten it, but I really like it anyway.
Dust Force kind of drove me crazy, and I didn't like it too much. I something about it just didn't click with me. But this reminds me of a lot of Dust Force, but in a good way, if that makes sense.
Well, that's fair because I like Dust Force. So if it's a good Dust Force, then I'm all for it.
Dust Force game.
Yeah.
I think part of it is the aesthetic. You know, honestly, Dust Force has a charm, but it's a very different charm, is what I'd say. Oh, geez. With that said, yeah, I wasn't very good. I think there were a lot more small tricks with Dust Force as well that, you know, it took a little while to learn exactly how to get all of the smaller tricks to work. But
yeah, I feel the game is probably like super fun once you really master it, I guess. But it's really hard to master.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I fight with momentum a lot in that game.
Yeah.
And I'm also like a person that likes collecting stuff, so if I don't 100% the level, I feel like I'm missing out, you know? So
I don't
like
care
mess up,
about
I start
collecting
over.
stuff. Whatever. Miss 2 of the 3 letters. I'll move on.
But percentage
come
and
back.
mail.
Whatever. Do you know how many letters we lost? Never mind. I'm moving on to a different topic. We lost no letters when I worked in the post office. Thank you very much.
Hot facts about the post office happening here.
Andy is definitely struggling a little bit with this stage here, the bouncers.
Yeah.
I'm not too... Oh, geez! Ah! I love pinball physics, but they're really difficult to deal with in any game, to be honest.
Yeah. This level might be a bit hard. Because there's a lot of spikes at the end there.
He's still alive. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's probably got those.
He got it now. I think he got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Really love the pinball stuff in this game.
Oh, the switching gravity. I love it. I love it. Oh. And I love that you have the ability to sneeze during that so that you're not just relying on the gravity.
Yeah.
This level broke my brain a little bit when I was trying to figure out how to get to that platform on the left, doing exactly what Andy did at least 3 times.
You're going to have to sling yourself upwards and then probably sneeze out of that towards the left as you're flinging upwards. At least that's how I would go about trying to do this level blind. Got to use the momentum, you know? Momentum has to be on your side.
Yes.
Or do what Andy's trying to do there.
Skip the mechanics, go straight to the hole.
Wow.
Straight to the hole.
Yes, because he definitely needs to cut some seconds right now.
I know, right? It's just totally in risk.
Like,
There we go. He did a good job there.
pro speedrun strats are completely ignore that and go as fast as possible, but
Yes. So what games do you guys normally speedrun?
You know, I'm pretty well known for playing bad video games. So, like, having a good game on my stream is a little bit weird. You know, it's surreal. But,
So it's like super hard older games or something?
well, super hard older games, usually games that got poor reviews, that people generally didn't like. A lot of them actually have a lot of charm. It's just that they didn't actually execute it very well. You know, they tried new things, but they were really bad at the new things. Yeah, that's what I like to find. Some of those games that have some sort of charm, but just ended up not being successful.
That's interesting because then not a lot of people want to go through all that work and find like the good parts of these types of games.
That's like 90% of what happens in our community here, to be honest.
That's awesome.
We're weird, okay? We're like, if you look at speedrunning, we're the clowns of speedrunning over here, in general. Although, I don't know, every once in a while I play good games, but like, what have I been playing? A lot of Commodore 64.
Oh god, me too. Lately.
Like, you too? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's one, for example, that's called Rags to Riches, and in that you're a hobo, okay, you're a bum living on the streets, and your goal is to make $1 million. So you go around and you collect bottles off the street and like pick up coins that people have dropped and avoid the IRS, you know, all the good stuff.
That sounds super obscure.
It's extremely obscure, but it's charming.
Yeah.
It's a very good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are calling it the Hobo Simulator. Essentially, that's what it is.
And I end up running a lot of similarly badish games that are also very good, but also a lot of TurboGrafx games because that doesn't get enough love. That entire library is neglected, and I'm going to make it love.
Yeah, Dominic didn't tell you that you would be stuck in the room with the weird speedrunners.
I'll stand by and say Weird Dreams is my favorite game, because, oh my gosh, is it so good.
Yeah, that one, if you ever want a surrealist trip into DOS video games, yeah, Weird Dreams is pretty much where you go. Because that is messed up, and the controls are terrible, and I don't know. I've never played a game quite that weird.
Oh yeah. Play the Amiga version if you do, though. It's a better game in every way, except it doesn't play any better. It just has more
really
sound effects.
recommending which version of Weird Dreams to play?
I have played so many of them. The only one I haven't played is the Atari one, but I've been playing a lot of the Commodore one, which is broken in its own complete way.
Still better than DOS.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
I never got around to playing a lot of DOS games, but I remember like downloading a lot of like weird one-man games on a old website called Game Hippo.
Oh,
That's where I found all those old DOS games.
I do want everybody to know, by the way, Liz Star is currently fighting the boss of World 2. Doing a pretty good job here. I'm not sure she's landed any hits, but she's doing well.
She seems to be getting the mechanic of the boss, though.
Yeah, she did take a little bit of a handbrake. I'm completely cool with that, honestly. Every once in a while, you do need a little bit of a break, especially if you're not used to the game. Take a breather, take a drink of water, you know, play more. My theory is if you're doing speedrunning and you're not having fun, or if you're racing somebody and you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to be lasting very long. So have fun. Keep it enjoyable for yourself, you know?
It is salient device.
And that's why I don't play Super Mario 64.
Been meaning to check out that randomizer, though.
Is there a randomizer from Mario?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Interesting. What does it do? You just randomizes levels?
The Mario 64 randomizer, and I'm not the authority on it, talk about it much, is just, it randomizes all the star positions and kind of where all the paintings lead.
Interesting. I want to try that.
It is
Yeah,
fascinating.
check it out.
When is the Weird Dreams ran, though? I am afraid of what you'd randomize in that game.
Randomize the foot goblins.
Oh god, I have them routed out now to a T. They never kill me now. So yes, randomize them.
Don't even ask, Coney. Just don't ask, okay? It's not worth it. Like, it's not worth the misery.
Well, to be honest, as a designer, you kind of have to play both good and bad games to learn what works and what does not work.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, there are a lot of games that, like, if they would have been good games, those features would have shown up in tons of other games. But because they weren't good games, the good things that they had just never came back. And Like, honestly, there's a lot of gold in some of these old games that just has been forgotten.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
because of all the bad stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, it was an interesting time when Nintendo didn't monitor very much what games went on their platform.
Yeah,
It's a
even though
really
they had
strange
the certificate, the seal of quality, that
Right.
it basically was a seal that said, hey, you can beat this game.
Congratulations to Liz for beating World 2.
Wow, very nice, Liz.
Into winter with Elizabeth.
Oh, NPC! Ah! I love seeing Xandra and NPC currently on the same stage. Honestly, it's a deadlock between them for third and fourth.
And you just fell into the newbie trap where if you go too fast in the auto-scroller, you will get pushed up past the top of the screen and die.
By the way, I want everybody here who's watching to know that we are going to be having a tournament with this game. If you want to learn how to speedrun it, it will be pretty dang awesome. We've got $2,000 worth of prizes. We're going to have 16 players. Everybody is going to be getting at least some part of that prize. So honestly, learn the speedrun. It's fun. It's definitely a little bit difficult, but we would love to have you around for that, for the tournament.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait to see that happen.
Yeah, honestly, you know, there's a big difference between people who are playing it for the first time and who are playing it for the 100th time. And honestly, like, it still is impressive to see what people can do for their first playthroughs.
Absolutely.
But I imagine that there are probably some ways that the game is broken. I just don't know what at this point.
Yeah, well, of course, like I've seen a couple of bugs in this run. In the second boss, I saw some wonky things, I guess. But you know, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Oh yeah. And again, if it's not affecting everyone who's playing it, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not even a huge deal. By the way, NPC is doing a pretty good push right now. I believe, going back to the calendar because he accidentally hit retry, he is one stage ahead of Xandra. I think moving from 4th to 3rd at this point. Very nice, NPC.
Xandra working on how to solve the button puzzle, which you can't use your sneeze earlier.
Yeah.
There she goes.
So again, we're counting letters as who is winning, or is it time also?
It's going to be whoever makes it to the furthest stage. The letters will be a tiebreaker, so if for some reason two players end up on the same stage at the end of 2 hours, we'll use the letters to break that tie. Honestly, though, because of the separation here, I don't think it's going to come down to that. It'll most likely, I don't think anybody's going to pass Andy. For Liz Star, she has a pretty good second. Xandra and NPC, though, I think, actually, with NPC, and Xandra, it'll be a race between 3rd and 4th for them.
Yeah, I really like how close they are in this race.
Liz Star getting a taste of the vertical levels. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say that a lot of people find the third boss to be one of the more difficult bosses. So that could definitely be a area of the game where people start gaining on each other.
I will agree with you. That boss was definitely the hardest one I've had to play against.
Fun. The music sounds like it's getting a little bit more intense, by the way. Unless I'm mistaken. Maybe it was just the timing.
I don't hear any music, so I can't really tell.
Oh, okay. It might just be my mind, you know?
There's just 1,000 violins playing very intense music in pretentious times.
By the way, I want you to know that auto-scrollers are pretty much speedrunners' least favorite levels.
Yes. They eat up a lot of time if you mess up.
For a blind playthrough, they're not too bad, but for speedrunners, oftentimes they know the best places to go and just end up getting a little bit frustrated having to play a little bit of the waiting game, and then they end up making mistakes goofing off.
Right.
No, it happens all the time. And it's
you need to do swag if you're gonna wait in an auto.
Like, I fully support, though, giving things that are going to make people frustrated when they're speedrunning, okay? Make the game that you want to make, and even if there are things that are frustrating for speedrunners, they're still going to run it.
Yeah, but I think it's a fair point also in terms of a new player playing the game if they get stuck on stuff like that. That's certainly a design lesson. I've learned that most people enjoy those levels that Andy is playing right now, like where you're being chased by something, where you still can gain speed and still being chased. They're more appreciated than the levels where they're confined in a box.
Oh yeah, I think I would agree. And honestly, if you listen to speedrunners for all video game design advice, you're gonna make a really boring speedrunning game.
I mean, it's a very niche thing.
Oh yeah.
So.
That's sort of my theory. Make what you want to make, and make what is fun to you, and people will play it and, see the fun that you had.
Yeah, that's definitely what I wanted to do with Hayfever. That's the reason it's hard, to be honest, because I want it to be very hard. I want to play really hard platformers. I really love like Super Meat Boy. I love Celeste. What else? That's recent. That's actually a funny story, by the way. Celeste came out, when was that? 2018? No?
I believe so. Either that or early 2019.
Yeah, we were in middle production at that time, and when it came out, it became really popular. And as an indie developer, you're always walking around being super nervous how everyone's going to like perceive you, because you're like just one person, so you put in a lot of like your own personality into what you're doing. So you're like, oh no, everyone's gonna be like, oh, this is a Celeste clone. So we were really nervous for some time for that. So it was, like I said earlier this stream, that it's so interesting to see that many people refer this game to so many different types of games that I never thought they would refer to. So yeah, this goes to show that you sometimes, like, you shouldn't go around worrying too much about those things, because everyone's gonna see different things in the games they play.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Celeste has an interesting story when it comes to speedrunning as well, because a lot of the people who worked on it, especially Power Up Audio, are involved in the speedrunning community. They help with the audio at the Games Done Quick events. I've talked to quite a few of them. They're really good people, and definitely I think both wanted to tell a really good story and wanted to, sort of make something shine for the community that was that people enjoyed. It's really good. I don't have to say that though. You've played it.
I was unaware that Power Up Audio was part of Celeste. That's super, super, super rad. Especially for a game that has been so meaningful to me in a lot of ways.
Well, they also worked on Darkest.
That this industry is so tightly knit together that we know people. Like, in the industry, even though we don't really work in the same areas and stuff.
Yeah, it's so cool. I know that that's especially true when it comes to indie developers, that a lot of them know each other through various interactions, through like either playing each other's games, meeting each other at different conferences, different events. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been out of the game, but like I feel like every indie developer knows each other. Just getting together like indiecades and whatnot, and just kind of networking and talking to each other and just talking about games.
Wait,
It's a
Glitch
fun
Witch,
little community.
did you do development back in the day?
I may have a small history of indie game development.
I'm curious now.
It's one whole game, and it was fine. I did community management, and I tested a lot of levels and the gameplay and the flow of the game. I didn't do any programming or coding because I'm not good at that.
Would I know the game?
Definitely not.
Well,
I did submit it to GDQ though.
too bad. Send me a link. I want to see what it is.
I'll send you a key.
Ah, heck yeah, free video games. See, that's what you get when all you do is you sit around and talk about games. People are like, hey, this game, have a key.
It's like 5 years ago or so, and that was it was a really fun time. People, it's like why I've met Bennett Foddy and whatnot, and like he's a very interesting individual.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the people behind all of the different games here. And honestly, it's been a joy to have you here. I believe this was originally a university project, right? Of sorts? No?
Well, I was in school when I started working on this project, but it was a side thing. We started as a we were always two people, and we just wanted to do like a game jam thing together one summer, and we tried to do it like an extended game jam, so we did it for 2 weeks instead of 3 days, just to see like how polished can we make something this summer, just do this. And I had this idea already made up, so we just took it and ran with it. And right after this game was done, during that game jam part, I started working at a AAA studio, so I did the AAA stuff while working on this simultaneously.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be like pretty consuming if that's both your full-time job as well as kind of what you're doing on the side.
I haven't had a lot of free time the past 2.5 years.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say that time-work balance, or personal life/work balance, is a little bit low there, but that's okay.
Yes.
You know, you made something
can I
that
say
you
I
love.
love games.
If it was worth it for you, then heck yeah.
I mean, I'm here talking to you guys, so of course.
There you go. You've made it. You're on
Yes.
Rosentia's channel.
Yeah, you made it
know.
to the channel that has wonderful games like Booger Man.
Yes.
Only the
I've-
best for Rosentia's
I've
channel.
truly peaked in my life.
Oh, the level Andy's on right now.
Let's hope
I
this
learned-
isn't the peak, okay?
This level that Andy's on, I noticed you can land on the ledge with that the purple ledge below the arrow,
Okay.
and wait the you can wait the star out, and it will disappear after enough time.
Ooh. You've got the speed strats. Well, the
It's kind
slow
of the opposite of
strats.
speed strats, but the strats that will let you beat the game through extremely precise landing on a spike.
There we go. Yeah, NPC currently doing some of the pollution stuff. Man, I wish that pollution gave me this power.
Imagine like everyone just floating around in the cities. Everyone's a
Do not inhale
pollution.
smog. Do not do it.
Man, LA would be a different place.
Yeah.
Oh, the lasers! Oh, I can see NPC currently going through a laser section, and just because of the desync between the lasers and the holes there, it's a little bit visually trippy to know when you are going to be able to go. That's interesting. I've never seen anything like this before, and I like it. Well,
Oh no, the
okay.
last laser!
And then he died. Well, that's what
what a
lasers
rude
do.
laser.
It's like Snoopy, okay? Seriously, the lasers in Snoopy just murder you.
I love that game.
What's Snoopy?
Snoopy for Commodore 64.
Tell
I
them
wonder
all
why I've
about
never
it,
played
bro.
this very interesting game.
It is the
It's got-
pinnacle of video games.
Not really, no. But it has lasers. And they kill you.
Oh my god, Andy's at the boss now. Let's see if
Oh, and
you
NPC
go.
is onto the cloud as well. Yeah. Andy fighting the star.
Okay, I have to ask, why does this star cry when it kills you?
that's a very unclear design decision, but we wanted this to be like you're like he wants to be friends with you, but he accidentally kills you all the time.
Oh no.
Yes. The reason why it's not clear is because we didn't get to do intro cutscenes to every boss like we do in the final one. But the story behind the Twinkie is basically that he's a very lonely star, and it's kind of playing on a thing in Yoshi's Island when you're fighting the baby Bowser. I wanted to do something like that. It didn't come out too clear, but yeah, that's basically
I
the
love the idea, though. That's fun. Having enemies that kill you, not because they're trying to, but just because of happenstance. It's a cute little trope.
Yeah, and fun trivia here from the development also is this star. It's actually a recorded playthrough where Jonas is actually playing Thomas, but every time he's sneezing, he's doing that little spinny move.
God, I had a feeling it was something like that, just because of the way it moves and it goes through the different smog things. I thought
Yeah.
it was chasing me specifically, but
Yeah.
now I can see it's just like a player going, and I guess we think very similarly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's actually a really adorable way to do it.
Yeah, it was also it saves a lot of time because you don't have to like specifically code in where every move of the character. So we kind of got it sort of for free. We have a ghost player feature. We don't really feature it very much in the game. You can see it a little bit in the tutorial section where we see like a ghost Thomas going through. That's the
yeah.
same system that we're using for those things.
Okay, that's awesome. I love it.
I think actually they do the same thing in Super Meat Boy at a couple of bosses.
See, Andy has sort of figured out staying at the top left is a good way to stay alive. Okay. Now, the thing is, even if the pattern for movement is set, the pattern for what they're hurling at you definitely is not. So you gotta watch out for those projectiles at the very least.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
very
This is
close
a
to the
boss
goal.
slash auto scroller. Yeah, I'm thinking Andy may be able to get through it. By the way, watching NPC, he's through the boss of World 2 onto World 3, making some pretty good progress here. Xander is getting close to the boss.
close, Andy.
Oh my gosh. But now it's spring. Oh, the happy little egg.
Okay, I'll let this play out and see how many times he runs on the wall. But the controls on the peanut definitely confused me a lot. And I love the peanut, and I hate the peanut.
That's fair.
Well, peanut allergies are the worst, right?
They definitely don't do this to me.
Do you have a peanut allergy?
A very, very slight one. Enough that like I don't like men start to like try to cater things to me, but no, I can just eat peanuts. I'll just get itchy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Andy is having a bit of a hard time making this turn specifically.
Yes, the peanut mechanics works like you can only corner things if you're walking. If you're boosting, you are going to be sliding off surfaces.
Yeah, and if you just let go of the controller, you'll slide down the surface and then fall off.
Yeah. And I think that's actually something we're going to be patching, maybe. so that instead, when you're like walking, if you would release your walk button and slide down towards a corner, you would just round it and still stick to the ceiling of it.
That
would
sounds like a
probably make
good
it easy.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The most
know that.
con-
Sorry, I was reading a thread the other day about Celeste that was talking about some of those quality of life choices that
Oh yeah.
make it a little bit more...
I got it sent to me maybe 5 times that day.
Well, it's a really good thread, and honestly, yeah, making it a little bit more forgiving for players definitely can help there. So yeah, that I think that would probably be a welcome change to let them feel like they're being successful.
Yeah.
And maybe even better than they actually are. Wink, wink. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love the colors in this stage though. Like I'm just a big fan of sort of the pinkish orange that you've got going on throughout this. It's something that a lot of games have been using a lot more lately, this sort of palette that you've got here. And it, like, honestly, until the... What am I thinking? Until at least this previous decade, this almost never showed up as a sort of color palette. So,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
a
almost
fan.
like it goes in fashion, in and out, like clothes.
Color palettes in video games and clothes, the two big things about
It's
season.
true. We no longer have very many grayscale 3D shooters these days, you know?
Thankfully.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of this fad. I hope it sticks around for more than just a decade.
One thing that's very popular right now too is the whole 1-bit thing.
Yes.
Where there's just one color.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
think...
Like World of Horror is 1-bit, right? And that's really cool.
Oh,
I
I
haven't
need
played that
I
game,
need to
actually.
play World of Horror. It just came out and it's in early access.
It is real cool.
I've heard really cool things about it, but I've seen nothing. I should probably just play it without knowing anything.
I agree. That would be your best experience.
That's my favorite way to play new video games, by the way. Knowing like nothing, just knowing that I'm probably going to enjoy it. It's
So-
the same with movies. I don't want to know anything. Just if it sounds cool and other people can say, yes, it's worth it, then I'm like, tell me nothing more, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
I kind of miss the days where we didn't have that much trailers for games, and you just went into a shop seeing cool pictures, and you're like, this is probably a cool game.
Yeah. I mean, there are good things and bad things about that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that a lot of people were wary of games back in the 80s and 90s because they cost a lot of money, and a lot of them weren't very good. Especially if they were based off of a
Did you have the same thing in
movie.
the US where you could like trade in games for other games?
Usually you would lose a lot of money if you did that. Like, and most of the stores wouldn't actually take a game back if you didn't like it. They would just say, well, tough luck, should have rented it first. So we'd always rent first.
Oh, I see. One thing that I did a lot when I was younger was I went back to the store with the game and I said, how much do I get for this? And then I traded that for another game and added some money to it. That is sort of how we did it in our household.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be... Oh, Andy got an odd
Oh.
zip, it looks like.
Yeah, Andy teleported.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
Wait.
the one that kept happening to me.
Yeah.
Really, is that like the mysterious teleport that...
We actually kind of know why it's happening now. So we're going to be fixing it. It's definitely one of the higher up things that we're focusing on right now.
Aha!
It's we're focusing on that bug and also rebindable keys, and I think also...
Oh, yes! Sorry, I'm really excited about rebindable keys. I was really hoping
Yeah, it's
for
been
that.
requested a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the works, and we're going to be adding like quality of life a quality of life update pretty soon, and hopefully we'll be able to fix this lump twitchy thing in the save update.
The lump
So
twitchy thing.
we're aiming to release that this month, so it's not far off.
That's awesome. Cool. I'm really glad. There are a few times that a game comes out and, if there are a couple things that feel a little bit off, you never know exactly if they're going to be changed. It's good and actually really reassuring to me that, a few quality of life things are going to be added in. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. We care a lot for our audience, and I listen to all the feedback that people come with. We have in our Discord, we have a feedback channel where people can tell us directly. That's the fastest way of reaching us, actually.
Cool.
If anyone has feedback for us, that's the best place to be, I think.
Andy is doing a pretty good job with a lot of these mechanics, though.
Skipping
Yeah,
platforms.
he seems to be getting it very, very
Oh, stuck in the cloud.
The left-right controls are extremely confusing when you're in peanut mode. Like when you're trying to go up a wall or down a wall, they are nightmarish sometimes.
Yeah, I can tell that there are being some difficulties. It's completely fine for games to have odd control schemes if you can get used to them.
Yeah, I feel like you can't really do them better the way they are, but still, they are so confusing when you switch walls from left to right, and now suddenly up is down, or left is right, left is up and down is right, and then backwards.
It's especially hard, I guess, when it's a very hard game and very fast-paced game to get used to this fast control switch.
Yeah, like Andy just pushed himself up in the wall. There are
Yeah.
spikes.
As long as it's consistent within a game, it's usually going to be fine. Like, if I were playing this, for example, I'd have to think of right being clockwise and left being anti-clockwise. And if I were able to think that way, I would probably be able to start getting through these areas more reliably.
Yeah, if you tilt the controller to the way that Thomas is standing, then the controls make sense. And like I say, I don't think these can be done better. It's just a little awkward.
Yeah, it was definitely hard to design. We looked a bit at the way Yoshi's Island does it. And they do it sort of interesting, where when you run up a wall and you keep holding right, you keep running along the wall, no matter what direction Mario is running currently. As long as you hold that one direction, he will keep on running.
By the way, it looks like Xandra may have beaten the boss without... Wait. Xandra, go right. Xandra.
She just wanted to hang out with the cute upset Cloud for a while.
It does have a very cute cry. Where's the car? What? Oh no!
Oh,
Xandra! Xandra,
She's
stop
found a
blanking
very strange
stop
glitch.
blanking the game, yeah.
Oh no, that's too bad. I'm
You
so
may
sorry.
need to
I mean,
restart
Sandra.
the stage there. Well, I mean, wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that happen in a video game, and it won't be the last.
as for her subtitles, the plane was making the noise that it's there, and she could hear it, but she couldn't quite see it or get to it.
Oh, really?
I'm
Oh,
curious if because my developer brain is like spinning, and I'm thinking it's probably because some of these balls probably went through the little area where the rocket car is and pushed it outside of the world or something.
wait,
Ooh.
really?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm gonna write this down and actually look into it because that's interesting. Because those are definitely things I'm going to be fixing.
Oh my gosh, if that's it, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, yeah, I'll see. Honestly, I love when devs are able to be around for things like this, because even, when you have people trying to get through a game super quickly, oftentimes they run into things that you wouldn't necessarily expect at all. And it's, I've seen it all the time on this channel when we have blind races. Pretty much, you're probably at least once a day or once every other game or so, we find some sort of bug that nobody knew about, and that is pretty entertaining. So, it happens.
Well,
it looks like Xandra
now
was
she
able to get
finally
through it quickly.
found her. That's nice. Yeah, it's definitely very useful for us, and it's when you're doing like a bigger game with a huge team, you usually have a QA team doing all this testing for you. So for indies, usually that happens afterwards. So stuff like this is super helpful.
Really?
For us.
I didn't actually know that the QA stuff usually happens somewhat afterwards. Huh.
Is the plane in French called vrumette?
Sorry?
Is the plane in French called vrumette?
I have no idea. I don't know French.
I think it might be.
Adorable.
And if so, that's the cutest name.
It's so good.
We told the localization people that you can name the characters what you want as long as they're sort of reminiscent of what it was originally. So that's cool that it's that it works.
Yeah, that's adorable. I'm trying to think. We've had people in the community here who have worked QA before who always, I don't know, even with all the work that they put in, there were many times that they found something, but there just wasn't enough time to get everything fixed. Honestly, it's a huge task, and for a two-person team, you're probably not going to be whacking your head into absolutely everything. You got to get it done.
Yeah, and you have to prioritize other bugs over other bugs.
Oh yeah.
So we try to knock off those bugs that happens the most often. The lump flippy teleport bug is definitely one of those bugs that are very high on the list, obviously. And some bugs, man, like they just have to end up being in the game because they're so obscure.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's just the nature of game development, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd assume so, but it's if you're prioritizing, hey, the game crashes, that's pretty significantly important.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you can complete it and there's nothing like completely breaking, that's usually your go-to on shipping the game and then fixing that stuff later.
Yeah, but I'm really... Oh my gosh, it does look like the peanut is pretty difficult. I think World 3, from what I've seen so far, is probably my favorite. I love the pinball mechanics that you've got going on here. I love space. All those good things.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's almost like you get a little bit of a break in that world because it's kind of much floatier and like you can take your time with a lot of the challenges in most of these levels. Like you get more room to think, I guess. As a part to like World 4, for instance, that is very racy.
Yeah, we're rushed the whole
race. I'm not.
Not that guy.
English isn't really my native language, so
You're doing just fine.
Yeah, this is fine. You've got a peanut that can turn into a Sonic the Hedgehog ball, so you want to make it go fast.
Well, I'm pretty impressed. I've never like been a peanut myself. I'm starting to lose my mind. It's been 6 hours of a stream, and woo.
Dude, I would be very surprised if you turned into a peanut.
So would I. You know, to be honest, I'm very much a human being.
Yeah.
I think that would jeopardize Kuso Grande's future if Sencha were to turn into a peanut. Don't do that. That is my official diagnosis of no peanutting.
I don't think that's a diagnosis. That's a prescription, Glitchwood.
Well, thank you.
Just trying to correct you on your medical knowledge and stuff.
Sandra really did a big save there. Nice juggle at the end there.
Oh. You know what? That's something that's really rewarding when playing some of these difficult games, when you manage to get one of the big saves.
Yeah.
Always feels good. And then die right after that.
You gotta feel good about the save, though.
Oh yeah, you feel good and then you die and you're like, well, okay. Would be more impressive if I didn't die, but that's okay. You know, we'll clip that part out.
What has been nice, though, in this game when I do die, I feel like I usually did something wrong. Most of the time. Not that the game decided it wanted to kill me today.
Ooh, there are spikes right at the bottom of those fans that Lizstar was trying to use. A little bit cruel. Yeah, we are in the final stretch here. Guess what? Andy is going to be winning. Guess what? Lizstar is going to take second. But third and fourth is still a little bit up for grabs between NPC and Xandra, although NPC is currently in the third place here. Now, I do want you to know, Coney, that with tournaments that we've had for blind playthroughs, I essentially went to the people who did the best this last year and went through those people in order to choose who was going to be here today. So, you know, these are the best that we've seen for playing games that they've never seen before.
That's really cool. I'm happy you guys went so above and beyond with this, and with like a cool layout and everything. It's very, very cool to see.
I'm hoping that we've been able to do it justice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Well, oh no! Andy running into some spikes here.
I want to see Andy finish this game, and it's not happening. But still,
well, you know what?
He came very close.
He's doing so well.
It just blows my mind that he was able to do this well. Like, I played probably for 4 hours and didn't beat World 2. But yeah. I'm also not as good as these players.
I think it took me somewhere around 5 hours to beat everything, but I took a lot of notes playing through the levels.
Oh yeah,
make sure I had something to talk about.
I saw some of your notes. Yeah, you definitely had a lot to discuss.
And I wanted all the letters. The letters were very important to me.
Yeah,
I ended up with like 217 of them.
After beating the game, I'll go get the letters. But I'm not worrying about that right now.
That is a smart way of doing it. Don't worry about it right now.
Yeah, preserve your sanity.
I think the bonus levels are locked behind specific amounts of letters.
I believe you're correct, yeah. So eventually you will have to get all the letters if you want to see all the content and get the true mailman ending, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for the true mailman ending.
You can actually play a lot of the hard world content while collecting all the letters as well. You don't have to collect every single letter in order to unlock the hard world.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but in order to beat all the hard world stages, you need to get all the letters. Basically,
you'll unlock some of the hard world if you do that. If
exactly.
You get through
you unlock each level in the hard world.
Okay, I gotcha.
Andy's got to shoot the Donkey Kong barrel thing down right, and I wonder if he's going to catch on to that.
Now, Andy has been struggling a little bit here, trying to do this. Honestly, I can't necessarily blame him. It's a little bit of a struggle. Oh my gosh. Whew. I just love it. I love when you can see a screen that has fairly simple mechanics, you know, everything's static, nothing's moving, but you still have to figure out exactly how to get through the challenge here, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's okay. 40 seconds left. Can he do it? Oh, Listar, death by clouds.
Oh gosh, at the worst possible moment.
It happens. Oh, so
wow,
close,
okay.
Andy. Okay, he almost got
Oh,
it.
that's
Even those
Andy did
confusing
some
ones.
ninja moves there. I don't think he quite caught on how this area is supposed to be beaten, but he certainly found a own way of doing it, which is interesting to me.
Well, it is time, everybody. That is the exhibition for Hayfever. Guess what? Nobody's surprised. Andy manages to take the victory today, getting through a significant portion of World 4. I'm inviting them, by the way, if they want to come chat a little bit about the game and their experience. They are welcome to do that. And also come talk to you, you know?
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you guys very much for playing my game, and it's very cool to see speedrunners just like wrecking through everything this fast. It's very impressive.
Like, seriously, for playing it for the first time, yeah, it's super impressive. Hello there, Andy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi there.
Liz.
I'm gonna keep playing.
Oh, you're
ahead.
gonna keep playing? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
take a break. My hand hurts.
I understand. Yeah, I almost got blisters playing this game. Yeah, so Andy, you definitely made the most progress. You got through part of World 4, which is kind of bananas. You just demolished a lot of this game. I do want to get some thoughts about how the game went for you, what your thoughts are about the game. We have Coney as well. One of the developers here, the artist who did pretty much everything that you're seeing.
Cool. It's very pretty, by the way. So I enjoyed it a lot. The things, like I said, I was having chopped inputs, but that's because my game is running at 60 frames per second. Is my thought. I don't actually know if that's the case, but it would make sense to me. The other thing is, why is the wheel so inconsistent? Like I'm not even holding a direction when I try to jump off the wall, and it just does not stick. Why?
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hello,
Yeah.
Sandra.
Hello.
Yeah,
I think,
let's go ahead and yeah, Andy had something about the wheel, the peanut ability there. Was there something with that, Coney? I know that we were talking about quality of life improvements that are coming to that.
Yes, I'm not sure that it really related to your problem, but there's a glitch that we're going to be fixing for the that mechanic, where when you jump into a corner, you can sort of get teleported.
I saw that happen.
Oh, okay. That wasn't
Yes.
just me.
That did happen to me
No,
once.
That's one of the bigger glitches that we're working on to fix.
It's a
it.
very fun glitch.
I definitely got teleported into a wall once.
Yeah, and you know, this is something that definitely they've been paying attention to the different feedback that they've received from the community. So honestly, you know, watching, I really enjoy World 3. World 4 does
Me too.
appear to have possibly some issues with some of the mechanics, but honestly, it still looks like a lot of fun. Maybe a little bit.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. What about thoughts about the game as a whole?
I enjoyed it a lot. It does give me the Dust Force vibes that you said it kind of would.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't
So-
lie to you. At least this time.
So I gotta know. I got really mired in World 2. What is World 4? What's that one like?
So there's a mechanic where you eat a peanut. Is it peanut? You eat
Yeah.
a peanut and you turn into a wheel pretty much, and you can stick to walls and stuff. So you run really fast, and you have to like maneuver yourself. But if you're sprinting, and you go over a corner, you go flying off. But if you're not sprinting, you cling to the wall and go
Correct.
around it.
Yeah, it's also very pretty, and it's got this nice like Sakura cherry blossom look to it.
Yeah, it is
yeah.
very
cool.
Oh,
I-
nice.
very-
Yeah,
I'd say
I got stuff in Sniffle Hell and I never saw it.
Oh, it
I think
happens.
Thomas is perpetually in sniffle hell. I like how your plane disappeared.
Yeah, like I beat the boss, I beat the cloud boss finally, and then nothing happened. It's just me and the cloud just chilling.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Everybody's getting cut off on my layout. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So,
Just half of me.
I do see that NPC and Sandra. Oh, this is hideous. Whatever. There. I fix it now. Bam. You're all tiny, everybody. Okay.
Yay!
So.
Finally.
I see NPC here as well. I know that NPC was a little bit behind for a little while, but then really started making some good pushes, you know. Past Xandra, ended up coming in third place there. What are your thoughts about the game, NPC?
Other than having controller issues, it was a fun little romp.
Oh, you are not the only one who yelled about the controller.
Well, I saw Liz's comments, but I was saying some very not PG things on my end.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, the issue was that there were a few levels where I was right there at the end of the level, and then the controller is like, "Nope, you're not going right. You're going upright." And I'm like, "No!" And died. And I'm like, and that's when heck came out and flipped.
Oh, all those
And
heck words.
gosh darn it!
Yeah.
Oh god, not the hex.
Gosh darn it,
We're-
the
we're
heck.
s- We're so vulgar around here. Yeah, Coney, I actually heard you pause for a second one time thinking, should I swear or should I not? And
Yeah, I don't really know what the code for speedrunning communities are. I know that GDC, no, not GDC, what was it?
GDQ.
Yeah, that they have a lot of rules, and I don't know.
For
Oh,
me,
I teleported
in general, I keep things without swearing, but if somebody else swears, I just go along with it. But
I just don't.
anyways,
so-
aside from the commentary, I'm glad that people here were able to have fun and were able to enjoy the game. I hope that you get better controllers, everyone.
I
I
personally
just need a better computer, I think.
I'm enjoying the ice level because ice physics don't bother me.
Yeah, that level is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
The ice physics
That's
are
a-
real gentle too.
That's a superpower, though.
Yeah, here's the deal. To make ice physics that people are okay with, that is something that almost nobody can do.
That's true.
Ristar.
That and water
I-
levels.
Ristar had good ice physics.
Ristar has good water levels too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah, Liz, we haven't heard too much from you. What are
Hi.
your thoughts?
That's me. I really enjoyed it. My favorite mechanic was the rainbow pollen. My least favorite mechanic was the pollution. It's unfortunate there was a lot more pollution than rainbow pollen.
I also agree with Rainbow
As
Pollen.
there
being
is in
awesome.
real life.
I actually like the pollution though.
I started to like it more as I went on, but I think it was just like because the rest of the game was so fast paced up to that point that like the pollution really slows down the pacing. But like
I
some of the
mean,
later levels fix
If you don't release the gas ever,
Yeah,
then you die. Because then I run into things.
gotta go fast, Liz.
Yeah,
come
right.
on.
By the way, talking about going fast, we do have the tournament coming up. Signups are open. I believe right now it's down to the waiting list. I'm taking everybody into consideration, though. We are giving away $2,000 worth of prizes, so please do get speedrunning if you would like. Since you're actually at a disadvantage not being able to have played the game until today, all of you are welcome to enter as well.
Oh, I already
I
did.
think I just might, honestly. Like,
I'll think about it.
You'll think
Fun
about it?
game.
Okay.
It's a fun game, but I'm also like, I don't want to like try to make it too competitive for myself. Like, I enjoy the game and might consider it on the side, but it's like,
Yeah, I completely understand that. I enjoy games up to a certain point when it comes to competitiveness. And then after that, I'm like, hey, good job, Glitch Witch. You have the world record for Weird Dreams now. You can go ahead and keep that one.
I found time saves after that, too.
I might have to play it more, actually. But yeah, that I completely understand that mentality. Anybody who's watching, though, if you are interested, go ahead and grab this game. Get a time up on speedrun.com and submit, if you can, through the challenge link. I believe Kata shared that earlier. Anything else that you all want to say before we
if I can say a few words about the game myself.
Sure. Oh, yeah, sorry, Xandra.
Also, thanks for playing in French.
Yeah, no, if you have a French setting and a Canadian French setting, I will play in the Canadian French setting. Absolutely.
What was the name of the car?
Vroomette.
I love
so
it.
much better. Like, it's clearly in English, and Vroomette is so good.
Yeah, Vroomette, because like in Canadian French, like the sound like that a car makes is vroom. So Vroomette is like adorable. The little cutscenes were great. The game is adorable. The characters are super cute. It's like very, very like cute and wholesome, and I had a lot of fun with it. I am not great at air control, and a lot of this game is air control. So when I tended to be more at home whenever the game was on the ground, but yeah, as soon as when it went into like the second world, and there was a lot of like, when you get like the purple sniffles, and like these parts just like destroyed me.
Yeah, it's like the parts that I to compare parts in Super Meat Boy that I absolutely just stink at. When I saw stuff like that in this game, I'm like, I can't do this. So I was just like perpetually dying during certain like wind tunnels and stuff like that.
I'm really proud that you didn't give up, though. Honestly, I know that there's some mechanics that just do not work well for people, and it's easy to get frustrated. But you still kept going despite any of the frustration, and it's always good to see that.
Well, the thing is, everybody was talking about ice physics, and I was like, I want to get to those ice physics because those are my jams right there. I want those ice physics.
You play games that are basically like 200% ice physics, though.
Yeah, Moon Ranger on this. It's a great game.
Exactly.
Just in 100%, the game is ice physics.
Is it only 4 worlds, by the way, in this?
Yes, and there are extra levels.
Too.
Nice physics, by the way. Look at this.
Yeah, Andy is on an invisible platform now.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a bug.
It's I'm not gonna lie, I also got very frustrated in some parts, especially for when bits of like gameplay or very tricky parts would just like spring up. But the thing with me is like when I get very frustrated, I don't swear, I just turn into like game design teacher Xandra, and I just give game design lessons on stream. I'm like, okay, here's why this part frustrates me, and here's how I would do it differently.
Wait. Xandra, I played Quantum Blade. Come on.
I played
Well, that was that was
Whose fault is that, Andy?
She was 16.
She was only 16. Yeah, ragging on a 16-year-old. Wow, Andy, that's rude.
I'm heartless, dude. What do you want from me?
Coney, just for reference, Xandra made us play a game on a My Bad video game tournament that she made when she was 16.
Oh, really?
It was trash. It was so
It was
bad.
not a very good mini game.
No one else had to do that but me and Andy. Don't act like you made us.
It was so fun.
Maybe we should get him to play the Linkums.
Oh my
games.
gosh, the Zelda-esque ones. Nah, I think
Yeah,
we're good.
and the Sonic one.
No, you don't need to.
that's the wonderful thing about Kuso Grande and like having a bad game tournament is that it turns out that the first games you make as a budding game designer and game developer can get a new life as Kusoge, and you can embrace all the mistakes you made, and that suddenly make the game, oh, this is suddenly a really interesting game.
Making people race something that is a forgotten part of your childhood is something that doesn't happen very often. With that said, I think that we are just about out of time. Thank you so much, Coney, for being here. I want to appreciate as well Bell Drama, or I forget his name already. Jonas for being here as well. Both of the developers for this game put in a lot of work, and honestly, it's just impressive to see what you have done.
Thank you very much.
Any last thoughts, Coney?
Not really. I'm just very happy to see you guys play the game and playing it so well. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
very much for giving us the
Thank you.
opportunity. By
Yeah,
the way.
thank you.
Much love to everybody. Let's go ahead and raid someone. If we have a good raid message, I would love to go bother them with
Achoo.
that.
Achoo. Yeah, I was about to say achoo.
Oh yeah, and if you have any sneezing emotes, that would definitely work as well. See what you can scrounge up. Let me see if I can find somebody who's streaming.
Sneezing emotes.
Sneeze?
I'm
Yeah.
sure- I'm sure that exists. No, you're right. You're right.
No,
Yeah, this
that's
game is
Pat-
nothing to
Pat
sneeze
Marco.
at.
Let me see. Turn request. You know what? No, I don't want to go there. There's so many people streaming, but none that I want to bother, except... You know what? Let's go bother Half Coordinated. He is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
He's playing the new Ori. And, just go there. If you're worried about spoilers, just go there and yell at him real quick. What? It's a good thing to do.
I'll agree.
Okay, and go ahead and do some sort of sneezing. And if you have any sneezing emotes, great. I think that's it. So thank you very much. Everybody here, have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow for more bad video games. Take care.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.